We are now in a phase where we call the Fengshui Metaverse Megatrend. The Metaverse is all around us, and even if you don't feel it, it's already there because you're using tools that enable you to enter into other realms, which are virtual realms, and you are using them in a way that they're scattered, right? So what we want to do is be able to help you to profit from the megatrend, how to bring your services and solutions back together again so that you are able to reach out to more people, protect your intellectual property, bring your solutions, provide rights and privileges to your customers, your clients, and be able to touch them in a way that's very different from what you've been able to do in Web 2.0. So without much ado, I'm going to just bring you into understanding what the metaverse is, right? Citibank says that the metaverse could be worth $13 trillion by 2030. I think that might be an understatement because it might be more. It all depends on the way you see the metaverse and how you connect the dots together. So you can find them in entertainment, virtual advertising, social media, education, healthcare especially. As you move more to the right, you'll find that it's more corporate and more in-house, more intra, right? Training, coaching, but more on the left is more public. So you could traverse between the left and the right to provide metaverse services to your clients and then create that value that they would not have expected, right? So what is the metaverse? The metaverse started really because of online gaming, right? Because when two or more people get on online gaming, they're actually interacting, and when they're interacting, they become friends for life, and at the same time, they are interacting within a virtual environment. So today you might find that there are different kinds of solutions, people entering the metaverse, and they're providing games, right? So that way it breaks down the barrier between interaction between people. And that's very important. So, but the important thing to remember in the true metaverse is that it is decentralized, right? So Web 3.0 is decentralized. It's a virtual economy. It's interoperable, very, very big words, but I'll help to dissect it later on at the back of the room if you're interested to talk about it. Collective 3D spaces, and it's always persistent. Like Feng Shui and like real life, the metaverse is always persistent, meaning to say it's always there. You can't shut it off. You can go there in the night, you can go there in the morning, but you can't shut it off. It's like watching a 24-hour cinema that's moving, right? And you're just watching movie after movie. It's just like that. So what are the industry verticals of the metaverse? Currently, you have the gaming, of course. Then you have socialization. Socialization, a very good example would be, of course, Mark Zuckerberg's own Metaverse, which is the Horizon Worlds. And then you have Microsoft themselves coming in on the corporate side. And you have the commerce, which the fashion world is quickly embracing the metaverse to market all kinds of fashion products and services. And finally, education. Now, education, you can find that it's relatively scarce. There are not too many service providers. And I believe that Feng Shui is the area that you can really take advantage of because it's all about education, about engagement with your clients, and then bringing them in and teaching them and showing them more. Yeah. So why is the metaverse only trending now? Now, that's a good question because Mark was telling me that you were in Second Life since 2004, right? And what were you doing in Second Life? So he actually had a Second Life. So why is it that even in 2004, when there was Second Life, today we're only starting to talk about the metaverse? And there were already multiplayer games. People were already playing multiplayer games. They call it MPGs. And from that time onwards, it started really the metaverse trend. Now, I won't talk too much about this because Mark has done a good job explaining what Web 1.0, 2.0 is, and now we're at Web 3.0. But the main criteria that distinguishes them is that it is blockchain-based, right? So I'll just maybe ask a show of hands. How many of our distinguished delegates and Feng Shui masters here understand deeply about the blockchain? Perhaps maybe have heard about it? Okay, that's a very nice showing now. A blockchain is a distributed ledger, right? It's like, for example, you transfer your money from your wallet to somebody else, you record it once, okay? So you're not supposed to record it a second time, right? Because that breaks the rule of accounting. So the blockchain enables you to record one transaction on a ledger. Now imagine that ledger is multiplied by thousands of times, so that if anybody wants to attack that transaction and saying that it didn't occur, but you say it occurred, you can prove it because it's decentralized. It's ledgered across thousands of computers all across the world. Yeah, so you can't change it. So blockchain and decentralization is the key support level of Web 3.0 and the metaverse to function, right? And then there's also the ownership layer and identity, because when I'm holding a Web 3.0 wallet in my phone, now the kind of assets I have in my phone will prove that I own it and nobody else in the world owns it, because that asset would have been recorded on a distributed ledger all across the world, okay? So I'm going to talk about how you can use these assets on your phone to be able to produce solutions and services for your clients. So the last two would be the privacy and the money layer, right? So in the metaverse world, we don't use fiat, which is cash in your wallet. You need to use cryptocurrencies because that's the way you operate to buy and sell in the metaverse. And the technologies are saying that by the next few years, okay, everyone will be able to have a universal identity. So if I were to take out my phone, which has a Web3 wallet in there, and I can connect to a metaverse, I can prove that I am myself without sharing too much information about myself. And when I move to another metaverse, because they're all different metaverses and they're all interconnected, I can prove that I'm the same person and nobody else can come and say that they are me. Okay, so that's the difference in Web 3.0. It really gives you autonomy and authenticity and real purpose in the Web 3.0 world. Okay, so, but the bridge to the metaverse is a complicated one, because how do you profit from it? Because there's so many metaverse worlds out there, and the best that you can do there is basically to engage with your clients, with your community, they call it, with your customers. But how do you ensure that there's value carried into the metaverse? So this is where NFTs comes out. Okay, so NFTs means non-fungible token. Unlike Bitcoin, okay, anyone here has heard of Bitcoin? I'm sure everybody in the room has heard of Bitcoin. Okay, great. Now, Bitcoin is a fungible token, means to say that each Bitcoin is similar and you can exchange it. But when it comes to NFTs, it could represent something that's very unique and you cannot exchange them one-on-one. You got to purchase it and you got to sell it. So far, the NFTs that have been very popular in the world are actually digital art, and those are NFTs. So digital art, they are unique, and therefore you need to buy and sell them. You can't exchange them freely. Okay? So you need to have an NFT to carry the solutions and services that you're going to provide to your clients so that they can then enjoy their services inside the metaverse, right? So it's really an incredible opportunity for Feng Shui practitioners now to engage with Web3 and with the NFTs. So as I explained earlier, the NFT is a non-fungible token, but very importantly, it has to have utility. So far, a lot of aggregated sites are offering NFTs as digital art, as games, but even though they have certain amount of utility, we feel that the utility could be broadened even further. Yeah, and that's where Feng Shui masters, grandmasters, practitioners, you can wrap up your solutions and services within an NFT and sell the NFT into someone else's wallet. So NFTs today can represent real-world assets. It can be representing physical and digital assets which are unique and scarce, and that's where you differentiate your services from other practitioners, and you can provide rights and privileges and experiences all locked in an NFT so that if somebody wanted to redeem the NFT by entering into a particular gated experiences or a event, they can showcase this NFT and then be able to redeem the NFT. And once it's been redeemed, it's proven that the rights and privilege has been enjoyed by you and somebody else cannot enjoy that privilege. So imagine the power of privilege that you can put in an NFT, especially when you're specializing your offer to your particular audience or community. Now, the better part about this is that, for example, if I were a practitioner, I would put together a right and privilege to an event that they could get to know me better. I could give them private consultation. At the same time, I'll give them a beautiful piece of Feng Shui art that represents my brand. And at the same time, I will have a physical sculpture, which we call a physical asset, that will be given to you because you can redeem that from the NFT that gives you the right to redeem it. Yeah. So this is what you get to have that you can pass on to your clients. And then when they enter into the metaverse with you into the community, you can then, your community can use that digital art that's on the NFT to show that they are part of your community. Yeah. So for example, if Wei Fengshui were to sell an NFT, they will have a beautiful piece of art with a beautiful storyline and narrative of Wei Fengshui. And that piece of art, which is a digital asset, will prove that they are part of his community. Right? So over time, the value of the NFT may rise because other people will want to enter into his community and enjoy the privileges that he has given. Now, each level of privilege can be tiered and increased higher and higher so that it makes it even more and more privileged in that sense. Right? So you're carrying value into the metaverse through NFTs. So that is what I just mentioned, the how. It really is to generate loyalty. And it can become a lead generator as well. Okay? So these NFTs can also be airdropped. Airdrop is where I can send an NFT for free, a complimentary NFT to somebody else's wallet and tell them that there's an upcoming event, they can get to know me, right? And then that will build brand engagement. And as we go along, we can create more and more tiered privileges, and that creates more and more value for the brand that you're making. Yeah, so it's really about brand building. So in the fashion world and in the commerce that we see around us, they'll be using it to build brand advocates, recapture brand value, create desirability and engagement. But the power of the NFT when used to bring value to the metaverse is really the ownership in the wallet. Okay. Now, so you see some of those Feng Shui assets there, right? And you see Wei Fengshui there offering their workshop. Okay, so that event is captured for eternity on your wallet. So if I were to go to Wei Fengshui's event, I would buy an NFT from Wei Fengshui. That event would now be locked in my wallet that even in 10, 20 years' time, I can be telling my children I went to an event 20 years ago and it's real because nobody else can pretend that they came to that event. So that's the power of NFT because it's locked in the distributed ledger. So the power of it is that it's a diary of value. Now that diary of value can be willed to your loved ones. So a lot of times we are thinking, when should we write our will? And what are my assets? Where is it found? It's found in different countries, different accounts, different locations, different lawyers. Now, everything that I want to own that is important for me and what I stand for, especially Feng Shui, I can find it in my wallet that stands for Feng Shui. And when I flash it out to a friend, a different look on the phone comes out. It's called a skin on the wallet. And everything in there is based on Feng Shui. So Feng Shui events, Feng Shui assets that I bought, and that record, I can now will it to my children because I can take the whole wallet in my phone, I can write a legal agreement against it with my lawyer, and then I can will it to my children. And I'll never forget where my assets were because they're all represented by NFTs. So that's the power of NFT. So what does that do? That really helps you to link one generation to the next generation. If I were wanting to influence my children in Fengshui, or if you had clients that wanted to influence your children in the Fengshui, you would launch an NFT for your client so that their children can participate in the Fengshui Metaverse Megatrend by owning the NFTs that they're going to transfer down to their children. Yeah. So Web3 was written by a Generation X person, but it's really now touching the Generation Z and the Alpha generation. People who were born after 1980 to after 2000, right? So this is really the generation that we need to bring into the Feng Shui community. And we believe that NFTs and Web 3.0 will be the key to unlock that connection with the younger generation. So we have a platform that helps you to launch more effectively and capture that value long after the launch so that you can also resell those NFTs. There will be long and short video reels that you can build your narrative, your persona, and then you are able to do live launches on the platform as well. Yeah. So this is the landing page. It comes in black and white. These are assets that NFTs that you can sell, which include services. They are linked with it. And you can become a brand. So as a brand, you are really building a community. So Web3 is all about building community. It's all about monetization of that community. It's all about ownership. It's about proof of ownership. So with that proof of ownership, you can now go around and say that I truly own something. So for example, here there's a lady who's launching a stone collection, and they're all linked to NFTs, and whoever buys it will have the privilege to enter into one of the events, to have special experiences and consultation with her. And then you can go on a live video to see how she launches. So this is the launch room. You have people who have bought in the past, people who are bidding for it. So you can also allow your community to bid for your services, your products, your solutions as an NFT. And that's powerful because that will create demand and scarcity, right? And so we offer a platform today as a partner with Mark, and at the same time with all the delegates here, if you're interested to come on. So, but the main three critical elements out of this whole talk that I've been given the privilege to talk about is you need to set up a wallet for yourself. Yeah, you need to set up a Web 3.0 wallet, because the moment you set up, you're in the first step to learn about Web3 and to learn about this whole opportunity that's ahead of us. And then after that, we will help you to move into marketing, which is the community airdrops, which you can use for branding and promotions. And finally, the sales of the actual NFTs, which will be your products, solutions, services, and so on, right? So I leave you with this QR code. If you're interested, just scan it. What we'll do is that it will land you on the site, and then we will help you to onboard with a Web 3.0 wallet. And then with that wallet, we will also help you with a lot of education, how to actually create airdrops, how to do videos, how to create your NFT actual launch campaigns, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So Mark will send this off to you. So at this point in time, I'd like to present our co-founders, Juliet there, and Ben. So without much ado, I end my talk here, and thank you very much for this time.